So an Australian, an American, and a Canadian walk to a ROM hack. That's right, it's EPLP time. Right here, and let's play some fucking War of the Woods. At first I figured this level's gonna be no big deal, right? I just gotta find a nice place to chill out until flu season rolls around, then the problem will resolve itself. Am I right? Nope, I'm completely fucking wrong. This is probably one of the longer levels in the ROM hack so far, if not the longest. It's maybe 2 levels long in terms of rough estimations. Although it's probably one of the better designed ones. The difficulty is pretty good for the most part, aside from a couple bullshit moments, and they throw a lot of different shit at you compared to most other levels. You know, like we got Zeus being all up in my shit with his fucking lightning bolts. Then we got the moles, we got the handful of water, we got fish. You know, a little bit further down here we got some really nice, precise jumps. Yeah, this right here. I really like this part. I just wish it was a little bit more forgiving with the last jump, because I died like 3 or 4 times right there, because you gotta be really precise with the last hit. So, yeah, that would have been the first place I would have had to dig out the editing shears in order to cut the fucking thing down. Although it looks like I got through on one fucking take that time, so that's always nice. And the moles aren't much of a problem when they're alone, but when they're in groups that big, you kind of have to fucking cause them all to herd together like that. Otherwise, they're just going to fucking ram you. Of course, they all pull a lemming right there and just walk off the cliff. The forest called out to him, requesting his aid. He intended to answer as he pushed forward. Old recollections resurfaced. So apparently the trees are still talking to him, and I'm guessing they're telling him to kill people now. It's always a good idea to listen to the voice in your heads, children. That never turns out badly. Nope, not at all. Probably the gimmick of this level is that it fucking changes background and seasons as it goes on. You know, like at first we had like the nice green of summer, now we got like the red of like fall and shit. And it changes again a little bit later. Yeah, that's right. We were maybe a third of the way through the level, which puts us quite a distance away. Of course, this here was bound to happen. You know, careful jumps over fucking bullets. The way you're supposed to do this legitimately is probably to bounce off the bullets. But I say fuck that, because even though I can certainly see how that's certainly a challenge of skill and all that, I don't really fucking agree with it, so I'm going to cheese my way through this as much as possible. So there you have that. Yeah, they throw a lot of fucking patterns at you. And of course, the trees are back again to block our way, causing you to randomly jump into shit like those fucking parabombs. And it wouldn't be a fucking careful section without the lack 2 urging you forward. If you chill out one area too long, he starts nailing you with those fucking spinies. And that's not what you want. I really fucking hate that enemy. Everybody who's played the original Mario and doesn't hate that guy is lying. They've never actually played the first one. And of course, the pipes are excited again. You know, try not to stand too close to the front of them, because if they go off, it's going to go everywhere. Yeah, it's pretty obvious how you're supposed to deal with that. Wait for it to go up. And of course, the anything that is hidden by those trees is probably a bottomless pit, so don't actually fucking try checking that out. Yeah, now we have this narrow bit of water, and we've got a bit of a narrow corridor, but it's done right this time. Notice how there's a lot of headroom and you're not really hitting your head and shit. That's exactly what I'd kind of like to see. You know, I don't have problems with shit being cluttered. It's just that if it gets too cluttered, it gets to be a bit of a fucking annoyance. That is not how I like shit to be done. And of course right here I'm going to try grazing like a motherfucker. Getting through there. And yeah, that part right there, pretty nice. And I'm pretty sure that's where the bullet portion of this level ends. Yep, that's right. There's now some other shit going on. Okay, this is another part I kind of like. It's a bit of a mainstay in ROM hacks to have people running enemies over spikes. But very few seem to actually do it with these, I forget whatever the fuck they are, caterpillars? Yeah, I'm just gonna call them random caterpillars because I don't remember their official name. And they're very fast moving, very nice to jump on. I like them much better than the spinies, those fucking cactus bastards. A lot more fun. The land began to decay, but his sight pierced through this despair. There was still hope. His sense of purpose grew further. So apparently seeing environmental destruction makes Mario gain a purpose. I'm guessing that Mario is secretly Al Gore. Yep, that's right. Mario is fucking Al Gore. You've heard it here first, people. And of course, all the enemies are undead bastards, spikes, and this is like the gimmick of the last portion of the level. The part that I really fucking hate. Those branches are platforms and they start being fucking everywhere before too long. They're extremely small. They're maybe half a block in terms of size, if that much. And I am not a fan of them at all. Especially when you have to fucking narrowly dodge through shit. The trees here are pretty sparsely placed, so they don't actually get in your way as much as they normally would. Much nicer way of doing things, instead of the fucking wall of trees that we normally get. Like I said, this level is pretty nice in terms of difficulty. It's more or less where it should be. Fuck. There's unrest in this forest. There is trouble with these trees. Yeah. So the water's like fucking radioactive or some shit, so you can't actually touch that. And of course, we have the spikes, the pinchers, whatever the fuck they're called, and the ever-famous mace tree. I'm guessing that this is a tree that has evolved a way to fight off lumberjacks and shit by growing like big fucking spiked balls on it. Yeah, evolution, alright. In your face, creationists. Right. They're kind of strangely... Yeah, right there. This is one of the main reasons why I hate these platforms. You probably don't notice it when you're playing the regular versions of these games, but you definitely notice it when you're playing ROM hacks. When Mario lands on a platform, he doesn't stop immediately. He always slides a little bit. See that right there? So the only way you can really take care of that is by pulling back before you actually land. Like you notice I'm doing right here. That kind of stops his forward momentum and prevents him from going into a slide animation. Because with the platforms being as small as they are, unless you land very carefully on one, what's going to happen is you fucking run off, like I just did there. I'm pretty sure that's what happened anyway. The way these spiked balls are set up, they don't really hit you if you're in the right place. And it's very easy to get to the right place and tell where you're supposed to be. It's no big deal. And now we've got thwomps and what are those? Fire something or others. I think they're some kind of fire boo. And of course, the big thwomps are here as well. It's like a castle except outside, basically. Yep, notice how this thing's throwing some really different shit at you. And of course, I really like this part as well. Careful jumping on the giant thwomps. Really fucking nice. I dig that. I can get behind that. I can get beyond that old school. And this is the part that really kind of weirded me out. I wasn't sure how the fuck this was supposed to work. So like, how the fuck does this work? And it was kind of awesome. But eventually I kind of figured out that it's pretty much just a gigantic spin jump fest. It's been pretty lenient with spin jumps lately, so I forgive it. And of course the fish can be spin jumped just like every other fucking thing in this game. You just can't normal jump on them. Oh no, that'll kill you. That'll kill you. And here we have a really nice big fucking lake.